Warning, technical issues ahead. The stream kept dropping, so if you notice any skips, and you'll notice them, that's what it is. We apologize.
In Abbey shores where shadows play, the alley whispers night and day. In Abomination, alley's grip, where fear and danger tightly knit. Oh, the alley breathes a tale untold of secrets dark and hearts grown cold. Abbey streets, they'll pull you in to the depths where sin begins.
Hello, and welcome to Dire Bear. It's Tuesday night, so of course that means we're playing Abomination Alley, our BRP actual play. I'll be your storyteller of the evening, Jason, and with me as usual will be Carr playing Teak, Jeremy playing Salvador, Eric playing Michael, Rappy playing Charlie, Patrick playing Leo, and Sarah and her cat playing Vivian.
Cat tax.
The cat
The cat
thankfully has
Jackson.
better dice rolls.
Yep, she doesn't have the thumbs to the dice roller.
Alright, who remembers where we left off last time?
Fighting a water elemental.
Poorly fighting a water elemental.
He is running away
Tegan's running away with a mermaid.
with a mermaid above his head. And as far as I know, last time we made it to my vehicle, she's in the vehicle, and I was about to crank.
Phrasing.
This thing goes below 35 miles an hour.
Beware.
Alright. And I believe... Let's see, Vivian was playing her violin.
Trying to act as distraction.
I think
Distraction.
almost everybody else was trying to act as a distraction.
More or less. It's
Give or take.
Salvador took a
Sa-
shot at the
Yeah.
what we assume is the summoner.
Salvador is being a sniper.
Y'all better hope it was
Well-
the right guy.
Michael tracked the energy to that guy out on the water.
You saw
Called it out.
nothing that specifically connected him. You merely saw an aura of power around the guy.
Yeah.
And nobody else in the area, so, you know.
Justified.
Point
I'm just,
two.
I'm just pointing out that you did not specifically see a link.
And
It was more
He is no
process of
longer
elimination. Well,
armed
nobody else is glowing with power. It's probably that guy.
that guy.
Yeah.
He's
That guy
also
right
no
there.
longer armed and dangerous.
He still has
That
one of his arms.
guy. He has one arm. He's armed and not so dangerous.
Armed and mildly.
He's been disarmed.
Oh yeah.
Terrible
Alright.
joke.
And I think we... Oh, yeah, we left. Did we leave
I don't
off?
think
Did we finish the round, or did we leave off at Teek's turn?
I don't
We left off
remember.
we started
Teaks.
at. Okay, I thought we.
I
Started
thought we
at the
did.
top of the round, but
I unfortunately do not remember.
really.
When I
gotta
first
do
logged
better
into
than-
Roll20, it was still sitting on the Elemental's turn. But I know we usually wrap up around.
Yeah, I could, because that's what we usually do.
I feel like you did something with the Naiad, and then we said we're going to leave it there because Teak was on his way to his vehicle.
I think the Naiad tried to grab either the mermaid or Teak.
Slight hitch. All right, so yes, Teak.
Unfortunately, failed the roll.
All right, so you're sitting there cranking, wondering why now of all times it's got to do this.
Mm-hmm. It's like, of course.
Salvador, you going a 7?
Oh, yeah.
He could take another shot, is what it is.
Oh, okay.
I can take
Oh,
another shot. Question: does that have to be on the same target, or is that just another attack I get to make?
I think it's just another attack you get to make.
Okay. I will fire at the elemental. I know nothing's gonna happen, but I am trying to just get its attention.
Okay.
I think Salvador at this point saw it like literally not flinch. It's like, okay, well, let's try to get its attention anyway. Fired. I have to bring up my skill.
Does this thing have a core? Shoot for the core. I don't know what it does.
Center mass every time. Boop. Success.
Okay. All right. It's
Trying to
not going
find
to try
some
to
way to like,
dodge you or anything.
slow it down. Oh,
All right. Need my stats for the water elemental. All right.
9 points damage.
All right. Well, you're not really doing any damage to it. You know, it's
I know, just
effectively immune to normal
Put myself
weapons.
sharp on it.
But I am going to give it a. What would it need to roll to stay focused?
Whatever roll it was making at the top of its turn.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what that was.
Distraction.
Since I think it was just a stat roll I gave it. But I can't remember if it was rolling its
Sure.
POW or its intellect.
Swim?
You do not want it to roll its swim.
It has
Water
150%
It has
chance
100%
in swim. I figured.
Forever on
100%
target.
every time.
But it can still roll a 100. So it can still fail.
Yes, yes. All right. So I'm going to give it a POW roll. Which it fails miserably. Salvador, it rotates towards you.
Does it rotate or does it do the thing where like the whatever eyes it had shifted like through the body?
No, it actually rotates almost like it has a waist.
Okay.
At least all the top
Interesting.
portion, the not quite face, and the tentacles are at like arms. Because remember when it came up out of the water, briefly it had like a female humanoid form. And then kind of convulsed slightly and kind of blipped out.
And that's my cue to leave. And run in. I feel like I have a decent like clip on it, at least for now.
What's your movement speed?
Like up a hill. My movement speed's the same. Whatever it is for, you know.
That'd be a
Where is
10.
that actually? It's probably a 10.
Okay. All right,
think that has
next
changed.
up is Vivian, I believe.
That was only if I was doing firearms, unless you're going to let me play the violin again. Maybe like a gun, I don't know.
No.
Musical gun.
If that goes for your, that's just for your firearms. The idea is that you're firing, you know, and you can rapid fire some guns.
Rapid fire music.
All right, so that brings up to the top of the order with Charlie. What is Miss O'Brien going to do? It's clearly turning away from the mermaid and towards Salvador, who is turning around and just hoofing it.
Yeah, Charlie's gonna keep on hoofing it too.
Okay. Are you going the same way as Salvador, or are you going off in a different direction? Because I know some of you had split up on different sides of it. I'm pretty sure Salvador and Vivian were on opposite sides.
We were.
Yeah, not towards Salvador, no.
Okay. You could probably get to the Model Teak if you wanted to,
Probably will do that,
because
yes.
you'd already been moving away from it. So, all right. So you run over there. Teak is doing the crank. The mermaid seems to be trying to get herself up into a sitting position in the car. She looks a little panicked. So yeah, you can run around and get in the passenger side, in the front, or you can just slide in there next to the mermaid in the back seat.
Probably sliding right next to the mermaid.
The seat's a little wet, but yeah, you got bigger concerns at the moment.
Yeah.
You saying she's looking like a fish out of water?
The mermaid a little bit.
Ah,
I know
Had you?
what Teek's asking next turn.
Leo.
Okay, it is currently focused on Salvador now.
Mm-hmm.
It sure is.
Okay, what would be the best option here? It's not gonna help. It's not gonna help. All right.
All right. Seems like you've got an idea.
This might be stupid, but I'm gonna try it.
I love stupid.
Have you met the Tuesday group?
I'm going to actually roll my pharmacy.
Okay.
Because I want to see, what do I have in my metal bag that will be very reactive to water? Basically, like throwing like a whole bunch of Alka-Seltzer into it.
I was literally just Googling when Alka-Seltzer was created.
Yeah. I about did the same dang thing. It's just like,
Throw a can of Sprite.
Introduced in
into it, see what happens.
1931.
Alka-Seltzer is not available.
They have
Well,
a
Alka-Seltzer,
drug-free
as we
version.
understand it, the medication has probably been around longer. That's just the brand.
Yeah.
What's in a doctor's medicine bag in the 1920s?
I mean,
Anti-inflammatories have been around forever.
Yeah.
I mean, I do have a doctor's bag, so you know.
Yeah, I think you and Patrick both have that. Let's see. Include items like chloroform, soap, and sutures.
Hey, water elemental, does this rag smell funny?
Now I'm thinking Disney's Atlantis. I got soap, but I'm not afraid to use it.
Effervescent or carbon tablets date back to the late 1800s.
Yeah, they do.
So would he have sodium bicarbonate, aspirin, and anhydrous citric acid?
Any of that sounds reasonable? I don't know what the last one is, but I'm going to assume it sounds reasonable.
Well, I got a 42 to determine if that would work. So just
you're not going to have enough in your bag to do anything major to something this size. But if you chunked all your not Alka-Seltzers in there, it'd probably feel it. You'd probably get a reaction.
Sodium bicarbonate. It's just what it is.
Okay.
I'm gonna give it a try.
So you're kind of running up behind it. Bloop.
Yep.
My purse!
Take 2 bottles of this and call me in the morning.
I'm not licensed.
And thus not liable.
21. Success. To throw it in there.
Alrighty.
Fortunately, I already have that one. Fortunately, that one was already marked.
Roll me
Uh-oh.
2d6.
Seven.
Alrighty.
The first bit of damage he's taken that she's taken all game.
Yes, it
Do we
does seem
see-
to have hurt it. Unfortunately, that
we
was
see
all your
it
alka
bubble?
seltzer.
So
Do we see it bubble up?
Yeah, oh yeah, it starts sudsing.
Doc, what was that? Like still like backing up with the rifle.
that was modern medicine.
All right.
Also known as sodium bicarbonate.
Vivian, you're up.
She saw it look less monstrous earlier. She's still gonna try and play something to distract it, maybe in hopes of calming it down.
All right, give me another. Give me a.
Because
I almost said medicine roll. Give me another performance roll. Whatever the
Yeah, please
performance
not
roll is
medicine.
called.
perform.
Okay, it is just perform. That is a success.
And also trying to like keep it from chasing after people into larger crowds of people.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it rolled an 11. So that is just barely a special success. So it notices that you're playing, but you know,
It was just
It-
shot and had a bag thrown in it.
it even looks at you, when you start up a new song. But then it seems to kind of dismiss you and start paying more attention to, the elf that keeps shooting it and the orc that just did whatever it just did.
Alrighty. She is still too partially terrified to move, so there she stands.
There she stands again.
But just think, the next time she's
Let's
performing in
turn
front of
the
people,
corner.
won't bother her at all.
Yeah,
I've
she'll be
performed in
fine.
front
Just
of an
imagine them all
unnatural
as
beast.
elemental.
Just pretend.
And,
Just pretend everyone's in their underwear or a water elemental.
One or the other.
and
Or water elementals in their underwear.
Eric, you're up.
How's Eric?
Is it underwear or waterwear though?
Underwater wear.
There we go.
Swimwear.
Would it be earthwear?
Mm.
I had to. I'm not sure what he could do. You said Vivian was still just kind of just standing there, right?
Yep, playing her
Yep.
violin.
Aggressively playing violin.
Okay. She might be getting a look of like,
Not
Um,
moving.
can I try a sense roll to see if I can like sense anything off with this elemental? Actually, hold on. Idea. Literally idea roll, actually. Cool.
All right, what are we rolling an ideal roll for?
Well, since this is a living thing,
Mhm.
our detection. Since it's still active, I'm gonna focus it on the elemental
Okay.
to see what I can pick out.
That's right, because you did have the aura detection going. That's right.
Because it finally went off.
All right, so you are looking at the elemental, and the ideal roll is what you have to roll to see if you pick anything up. Correct?
Yes. I have to succeed on an idea roll to start picking things out.
All right.
Let me scroll to the page on the. Oop, too far. Yeah. So yeah, healthy or disease or severity, benevolent or evil, how much so, full of power, overcharged, low, or depleted, and a kind of like a power scale.
All right. What is your pal? 'Cause I think I
At
give it
present,
in comparison to you.
it's at at present it's at 12. His total power like pool is 18.
Okay. Uh,
Although it does say power points, so yeah. So right now it's at 12.
okay. You're sensing that you are more powerful than it is. Not
Okay.
physically, not physically, of course. This is as far as
Yeah.
uh, but health wise, or detect sickness. There is
Mhm.
definitely something wrong with it.
Okay.
There is something affecting it. You don't know what kind of disease or illness a water elemental could have, but there's something not right there.
Okay.
Let's see, what else do you get?
Hold the PDF again.
Evil or benevolent, I think.
Yeah, benevolent or evil, and how much so? Yeah.
Ever so slightly malevolent.
Okay.
Uh,
Uh. Also, say so like character possessed by another being, like ghost or demon, displays the aura of the supernatural being rather than their own. This power may also reveal the presence of any supernatural forces at work on the subject, such as curses, blessings, or magic items in their possession.
there is a magical effect on the elemental.
Okay. All right. So it's definitely being affected by something. I could potentially try to disrupt that with his own power, could I?
Do you have a power that lets you do that?
No.
Nice try.
Yeah,
Yeah,
if
I
I
was-
even. Sorry.
I have no idea. It's just one of those like, I'll take the shot and see if the DM says go ahead.
Yeah.
Um, but no, his only two powers are aura detection, which is active at present, and his eidetic memory, both of which are very subtle powers that he keeps to himself. But,
The time for subtlety is over.
no, if that ever happens, you will know how and why, and it will be spectacular. But
Behold mine power.
that's for another day.
Do it.
I, yeah, I'm guessing him probably getting all that information is probably.
It's not
Could I
instantaneous. You're
say
sitting, you're studying the thing.
so? Last thing, which I'm going to assume is going to be my turn at that point. Sense or occults to see, like, if I could determine what kind of magic is specifically affecting it, since I can kind of see it right now.
Give me
Does it
an
match
occult
the guy on the
roll.
boat?
It's going to be a difficult roll.
A difficult occult roll. Okay.
Difficult.
I think he gets there.
But yeah, even at difficulty,
plus 20.
that's a 34.
Yeah, difficulty
So-
would be a penalty of 20.
So that's 34 against a 62. So still a success.
Uh, You're pretty sure it matches up with the aura around the wizard, or
Okay.
the sorcerer,
Boatman.
whatever you want to call it. Yeah.
Sir
Uh,
Boatington.
So now you're even more convinced that that was probably the right guy.
Okay.
Bodie McBoatface.
Bodie
uh,
McBugface.
But beyond that, you're not 100% sure. Some sort of compulsion, maybe.
Okay. Cool. Other than that, he's gonna be still backing away from the thing that he knows he has absolutely no means of harming. So that'll be my turn.
Salvador.
Is the creature still looking at me, moving towards me, or has it settled on the person who actually did damage to it?
Oh, that's a good question. That you'll have to wait till its turn to get the answer to. It's looking back and forth between you and Patrick. It's clearly debating who it wants to squish.
Sure. That's fair. I will give it a wider berth. A move. And I still have eyes on the boat, however far it might be.
Yeah, it's still out there. It is
Is-
continuing to move
so
the
is it
direction
like
that it was. It's continuing to move in the direction it was moving when you shot the guy. Now, when you shot him, he fell down into the boat, so you can't see him, but you can still see the boat.
Yeah, I'm not worried about seeing him. I'm not like, if he peeks,
gonna put
I'm
a
gonna
hole
get
in it.
him. I might. I have one shot left in my chamber.
I just happened to think about that because you went, I'm not gonna aim at the guy. I'm like, are you about to put a hole in that boat?
Perhaps. But I am gonna get like as far away as I can with my movement.
Okay.
And then I will aim and fire at the boat.
Okay.
I am intending to make a coin-sized hole in the hull. My rolling. I'm rolling to shoot, obviously, but is there?
Difficult roll because how far out it is,
Sure.
which was the same, I think, as last time.
That is a success.
All right.
Even at difficulty.
Roll some damage.
6 plus 4. 12 damage on the hull.
Stop putting holes in my ship.
It's
That's
a
the thing is-
rental.
His boats actually have. It isn't here somewhere. Hold on. What kind of a boat is this?
Oh, there's a stat block for it. Of course, there's.
There
stat
is
block for
actually.
it.
I'm looking
it's
at the
It's
chart.
Chaosium. Of course, there's a stat block for it.
For it. There's a stat block for Cthulhu of all things. Trust me.
Yeah, I believe it.
It's basically just a small.
It's like a little skiff, right?
Yeah, it's not something large at all. It's a little. It's bigger than like just a rowboat, but not by much.
So a small boat, I guess, or
Sounds right.
small road, kinda.
Yeah, close enough.
Okay. Well, according to this chart, well, for one thing, it has armor.
Yeah.
So armor
Sure.
4.
Okay.
Okay.
So that's 8 damage. I assume that's how
Uh,
armor works.
Yes, I believe so.
So you did 8 of 20.
Like I said, I'm not trying to like destroy the boat. I'm just trying to
Yeah.
put a hole in it.
I mean, 20 is like its max. So
Yeah.
you did over a third. So
I did.
I love
Major
how
wound,
like
baby.
I love how the further down you go, it's like goes small road, ancient road, sailing, hovercraft, motorboat, cruise ship, battleship, aircraft. It's just like
It's got to cover a
Ah,
wide
yes,
variety.
he's piloting a single man aircraft carrier.
it's just the progression amused me.
So at this distance, you can't tell how much damage you did.
Sure.
You're pretty sure you hit it. But, a coin-sized hole when it's, way off in the distance.
How can a man swim with one arm?
Goes in circles.
All right. It is the elemental's turn. First things first.
Is it still distracted by Salvador?
He's rolling that right now.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I'm rolling at spot right now.
Hmm.
Don't think that will be a special, but let me check. No, just a success. But it is definitely going after Salvador.
Yep. I moved.
Like I said, it was
as
looking
far
back and forth
away as
between
I
you and
can.
Patrick, and it was literally looking at you when you took the shot. You see it kind of go, and then its attention snaps back
Okay.
to you, and it starts moving.
Okay.
So it gets as close to you as it can, and you have that water tendril come at you.
Am I rolling to dodge then?
Yes, you may take a reaction to dodge.
That's a fail.
Well, now we just have to see if it hits you or not.
Yeah.
Ah, there was this drowning.
Come on, double fail.
It got a 56, and it needed a 50.
Double fail. Let's go. It can't hit me, and I can't dodge it.
I have this picture of Salvador trying to dodge, and he falls on his butt, and it slaps the ground next to him.
Very
Or it's
Usually
horrible.
or it's swinging
it's
wide,
action.
and he trips and falls, and it passes over him.
Yeah.
People at a distance think it was a brilliant move. People up closer to see his face know that was an accident.
Salvador has the oh shit face, and everyone's like, "Wow, he's a genius."
Oh, did we
And-
lose somebody out of the Zoom?
Eric.
Yes,
Eric.
Yeah. Yep.
Is he
Whereas
still in
Leo-
Discord?
He is
He's
still in Discord, but
but
Discord is
His-
delayed usually.
yep, there
He's
is.
Yeah.
typing.
Yep, he crashed.
Did a cat get the wire? Yep.
Internet doing a flatline.
All right.
I'm about to be. Hopefully, there's not a cat in his house.
I was gonna say. There it is.
He would flatline.
No, his dad would.
Yeah.
His dad's more allergic to cats than he is.
Yeah.
Welcome back.
You're
There we
muted.
go.
There we go.
Ah, yeah.
Excellent.
I live.
Do you though?
For now.
I know he looks pretty pale. I don't know.
Or no.
He does look pretty pale.
That would be because I'm forced to use light mode on roll 20.
Oh,
So I
yeah,
can
light
see
mode.
what it is I'm actually rolling. Because otherwise, all I would see is skill rolling. If I got a success or not. That'd be it.
Oh yeah, because it's god.
But that's really
Yeah.
all you need.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, dark mode does not work for this sheet. All right, so anyway, Teak, you're up.
For mine.
First things first. T's gonna ask the mermaid, or I can never remember what her actual race is. How much longer can you be out of the water? And then he's gonna crank.
Sometime. It's not good to let myself completely dry out. But
Really?
Oh, God,
Really?
that's insane. This is what the
Okay,
character's made to
so-
do. He's crumbling under pressure.
Oh no.
so failed it by 1 point.
Mhm.
Well,
Do you want to?
never mind. I was gonna ask if he could if he could get a bonus to it because he's now not under pressure to go quickly because it's focusing on somebody else. But
It's still close enough. You're probably wanting to get out of here quick. I'm gonna say that there's still a little pressure.
that's fine. I just
Reroll.
You're just not getting it in the 6 second.
If
He
you
can't
reroll,
I
roll
would
he
faint
passes out.
Patrick, and then they'd run me over.
Oh,
Yeah.
you-
Oh, that would be fun.
He only has 5 power
I have
points.
5, and it uses all
Ah.
5 to re-roll.
Oh.
So he would crank it. It would start up, but then the crank would snap back, knock him in.
Mm-mm-mm.
But Charlie would see you go down. She could throw you into the passenger seat and drive off herself.
I could attempt that.
That's true.
You know what? Fuck it. For the hilarity, let's go.
Oh god,
Success.
what-
It's cranked.
it's cranked.
So, Charlie, you
Goes
say
up
put
and
Teak
down.
on
You
your-
just watch. You just watch. Teak just and just does it, and then it spins and slaps him, and he's.
And he
He's laying
goes
out on the ground.
airborne and then falls back down.
Oof.
That's amazing.
But
There.
the car is now idling.
The car is now idling.
Okay, now who has a decent drive skill?
I don't think he needs a drive skill at this point. Like turning it on was the issue.
You got to drive to get away.
Yeah,
Well, yeah,
I'm
in,
I'm going to be
sure-
chased.
in active combat scenarios, you have to use the drive skill.
Ah, I see.
And
Yeah.
I guess drive in it varies. It has varies under it because
No, I don't get the check mark it because I did the power.
I don't
right?
have any of that, so
Right.
I couldn't drive the car anyway. I could, but you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah, the drive varies is like, if we were in a more modern setting, well,
Yeah.
like drive motorcycle,
You'd have a different vehicle.
drive
so
like
then
18-wheeler, that kind of
so,
thing.
so drive, but I don't have
It's
drive.
pilot under this one. So
Oh,
Well, pilot would be for stuff
Pilot
like
is
paints.
pilot
yeah,
is
there is a
also
drive and a
varies.
pilot and navigate.
huh.
And then
think
ride is
one.
like if you're riding animals.
Yeah, I got
There's
navigate
All modes
here.
of transportation.
Like on Teak's
Okay.
sheet,
There
there's
it is,
drive
I
under it.
see.
Said he's actually got Model Teak written
There
in.
it is.
Yeah.
But it's my drive skill, but I put Model Teak because it was hilarious.
Yeah. But okay, so that was Teak's turn. Car's cranked. Salvador, are you taking a second shot?
I cannot take a second shot. I am out of ammo.
Oh, fair.
But yeah, so I will.
Can you
be...
reload on your rapid
That's
fire
a GM,
turn?
That's a GM question, not my turn.
No.
Or not my question. I didn't think so.
No.
Okay.
The rapid fire thing is just you get an extra shot. There's nothing else you do with it.
Yep.
Gotcha.
No, the ideal is literally that you're sitting there pulling the trigger fast. Which makes me rethink
I
whether
see.
you should
It's
just
odd.
target.
Having odd numbered rounds is challenging with a weapon that fires twice.
Alright, so are you going to try to continue to run away from it at this point? Or
Yes, I am still beating feet.
and of course, you've had dock workers and stuff scrambling away from the moment it started.
Excellent.
Alright, so it's right up on you, and you're right up. But wait, it's not your turn anyway. Alright, we're back at the top of the order with Charlie. What you're going to do? Teak is laying unconscious in front of his car.
That I don't know. Charlie doesn't know how to drive, so I can't roll drive. Nothing
And you
there.
wake Teak up.
I could attempt
Don't-
to. Would I have smelling salts in my doctor bag?
You would.
Yeah, that's definitely
Okay.
something they would have.
All right, so
What's
I
that?
will grab that. What do I roll for
Yes.
that medicine?
Well, that's the thing, though, is out of. Hold on.
That's first aid, is what you use.
First
as
aid.
Would
the
that
Yeah,
be
yeah.
something that works with the PowerPoint thing?
Yeah, out of PowerPoints is its own thing.
Let's
If
see.
I can find it. Because I know if you run out, then
You pass out. Yeah.
No, it's like full on. It's not pass out. It's like a full unconsciousness for a set amount of time.
This
Why
is
running
why I
out
don't
is
want to do
dangerous.
it often.
Yeah.
That's why I was like smelling salts. Like yeah. Wake up! Wake up!
Yeah. A psychic reduced to 0 PowerPoints is unconscious and cannot use any psychic abilities. But that's just
Yeah,
that's
but-
psychics. But
Yeah.
But unconscious is a status that can be recovered by first aid, I would assume.
It is.
I could be wrong.
Looking
DM's
up-
discretion.
Looking up unconscious now.
Damn.
Usually an hour, depends on the cause.
Look, I'm just flexing my
Damage
cartoon
and-
character, okay?
I love it.
You got to have someone to laugh at during.
All right, that's if they.
Mm-mm-mm.
It's all damage. Knockout attacks. Alright, characters may have powers such as mutations, psychic abilities, magics, or powers. Most powers use power points for fuel. When they run out, when these run out, they fall unconscious. Alright. Even without power, picture some power points. Okay, yeah. Living creatures, when they reach 0, go is unconscious. So it is just a regular unconscious.
Status.
Well, until it somehow regains 1 power point.
I think that's usually by rest. So
Yeah.
Well,
You just have Charlie there constantly giving smelling salts, so he can take an action.
Yeah.
It's like there with the bag. You like inhale this teak.
do
All
a
right.
line with these smelling salts.
So I guess first save for smelling salt, right?
Oh yeah, roll first aid.
Defeated.
Yes.
All right, so you rouse him up enough that he can get up and prop on you and kind of stumble to the car.
Are we talking like me at 1 power point, or still at 0?
I'm going to say still at 0. She's got you up and moving a little bit, but you took a blow to the head. You're still effectively,
Discombobulated.
Yeah.
Dazed at least.
you know,
He's in the car.
Here, destroy,
yeah, you're up enough to
here,
move,
destroy the
but
inner
not
lining
really
of
do
your nose.
anything.
Object sizes, weights.
Let's see. Leo, you're up.
All right. Is it still going after Salvador?
The last thing it did was try to whap him.
Hmm. Hmm. Not a good way of getting its attention. Alright, can I... No, I just got a pistols on me right now, so I wouldn't be able to shoot the ship. I will... At most, I could probably try to get its attention, or...
No, you could try to pull it off of Salvador.
What would I actually need to roll in this instance, or...
How are you trying to get its attention? I mean, you could try shooting it with your pistol just to draw its attention. You could run and punch it if you want to.
That'll work.
Running and
That'll
punching
work. I'll try to shoot it with a pistol.
Okay. All right, you mean shooting roll?
Yeah.
I'm gonna punch water.
He's got his fists for that.
41, and I needed a 40.
Oh.
So the shot goes wide. Vivian has moved a little bit further away from you, following Salvador.
Music and singing. She's trying to keep it out of, from moving into the city, pretty much. Roll both, or roll one at difficulty, or
Uh,
they're both the same point.
trying to remember off the top of my head how those skills, how you do that skill assisting thing. Because there was some kind of. Eric, do you remember what that rule is called?
You roll one to boost the other.
Augment or complementary. Complementary is you use 1/5 of the percentile skill from the complementing skill and add it to the percentile of the skill you're rolling. However, only the skill you're rolling gets an experience point check. Or if you augment, you roll the augmenting skill. If you succeed, you check it, and it eases the task by 1 step. If you fail, you don't check it, and it makes the task more difficult by 1 step.
Oh, let's do it that
They're
way.
both already checked. Okay, so
Mhm.
roll one if it succeeds.
Then
and
the
it
other one
lowers
is easier.
the. Okay. That one succeeded.
All right, so the next one has a 20 bonus.
Okay, so that'd be a 26.
Yep. Not anything special or bonusy, but
Yeah. All right, but both succeed.
something in Elvish talking about elementals very nicely.
You get a reaction out of it. Is now turning around and looking at you.
She's just going to try and like hold it in the same spot.
No, it's moving
Maybe.
closer to you. Well, wait till its turn. But you have gotten its attention. Congratulations.
Hey guys, run! Shooting it is not doing anything. And then back to singing.
I'm doing both.
Eric, you're up.
Yeah, he's heading over towards. Am I muted?
No, you're
no,
not.
okay.
No, you're not.
I keep having to check that. He's heading over towards Vivian. He's trying to be like, what are you doing?
Distracting it. Get in the car.
Car's full.
The mermaid does take up a little more room than a normal person. She's a little bit longer. But y'all took, I think, multiple cars down here.
Bad.
All right. Are you going to physically try to grab Vivian and run off with her?
You want to catch these hands?
PvP!
Fight or flight!
Pulls a teak, picks her up.
I'm just picturing Vivian, punch him in the gut, grab him by the back of the hair, shove his face into the elemental for a little bit. It's kind of like a swirly,
She
but
would
this isn't a
not.
full hand.
Let me clean that nose of yours.
Words would be created in Elvish.
And he's gonna stick by Vivian
Okay.
for right now.
Salvador, you're up.
I'm moving and reloading.
Okay.
That's it.
I don't think you use a ramrod with that rifle.
It's what do you call it?
Stripper clips.
They're actually clips, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm using my thumb.
Gotcha.
I
Alright.
looked into a gun for way too long.
So, Elemental's turn.
Mhm.
Vivian, it moves up closer to you. And a lot of its bulk sort of slides down So it's taking up a bigger footprint now, and it's not as high. And what's coming up out of this pool of water at its base now looks like it retakes that kind of humanoidish woman form.
She's having a mild heart attack, but holding her ground.
Shit.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of that. A
Internally.
couple of notes may have been skipped.
The internal monologue as it's happening. Ah!
Internal screaming. There's no monologue.
Just going up the scale.
Just yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Just
She has hit notes that only dogs can hear.
And it begins
Which is
speaking to you in
impressive.
Elvish.
oh.
Oh.
It's got a kind of gurgly voice, but it is perfectly legible.
Mhm.
Hello?
It,
In
it,
Elvish.
it tells you your singing is beautiful.
Thank you.
It doesn't want to hurt you and your friends.
It just
Can we help
is.
you?
Yes, we didn't know the species' actual names. If the species doesn't remember it.
The big fish person.
The merfolk.
Mm-hmm.
It must have the merfolk.
I can't do that. I'm sorry.
I am too.
May I also chime in?
Yeah, you can speak as well.
Okay, so he'll also speak in Elven. I know you're under compulsion from the man out there in the lake. Is there a way to fight that?
She just looks at you kind of puzzled. And this face is much more expressive. He looks at you puzzled when you talk about the compulsion or whatever. But, and then she gets an alarmed look and looks back. The other elf. He was firing some sort of weapon. I don't
Like-
see Alistair.
Jamming his thumb into his rifle.
Alistair?
Alistair.
Do you know Elvish?
They're speaking in Elvish, so if you don't know Elvish, you
Yeah.
didn't hear it.
The name
Yeah.
Alistair comes out as Alistair, though.
Yeah. Okay.
And at that point, it ignores the two of you and starts moving back towards the water.
Oh hey.
If it's just moving back towards the water and not doing anything aggressive, she's gonna let it go back to the water.
All right, so it hits the water. It sinks into the water. You lose sight of it at that point.
Mm.
A little bit later, anybody that's still watching the water, I'm assuming that's everybody not at Teek's car.
Mhm.
Peek's like sitting here, and it's like the KO. It's like just like
Finish him.
Bless him.
What? Yeah,
Little
with just
tiny dragons.
Charlie sitting behind the
Just-
wheel. Which pedal do I hit?
with Charlie
Uh,
just putting smelling salts under Teek's nose. She's like,
drunkily like that.
You know those bag feeders they give to horses to like feed them. It's just that with smelling salts.
Like the plague doctor mask.
Yeah.
I
They
think
have
most.
incense
Yeah.
in that beak.
I also think most vehicles in this date and time are manual. So don't they have like clutches and
Yeah.
everything? So it's like
That's why. Which pedal?
Charlie's like, why is there 45 pedals down here?
probably engine's gonna get it flooded by the time they actually figure out how to drive it.
Plus, she's got to take the blocks that Teek has on it off
Yeah, it is
because her feet will actually
modified
reach.
for Teek.
Yep.
Yeah.
Move the books.
He's got phone books so he can see over the wheel.
Yeah.
But as you watch the elemental, or watch the water, you see the water kind of. It looks like a big wave comes up under that boat, but then it doesn't recede again, and the boat starts moving off at an even faster rate.
I'm just gonna keep watching it.
He just passes. He gets out of sight eventually.
Hmm.
Though it doesn't seem to be
Watching
heading
it
out, like out into the deeper, deeper part of the lake. It seems to be running across the shoreline.
I am just watching it through the iron sight.
Like,
Does
you
the
never
name-
see the dude poke his head up.
Okay.
Does the name Alistair ring any bells?
Not on the top of your head, no.
Cool.
You know, it's perfectly possible any of you might know a random Alistair, but nothing that would link him to this.
Just kind of like watch it go across to the other shoreline and just be like, well, they're gone.
Well, it's not the other shoreline. It's just following the shoreline, but
Just
way out of
across.
distance.
Oh, it's kind of like
Yeah.
going like around the there.
Where now? Well, it's like you
It
look
just
over
kind of
here.
goes.
You know,
Okay,
say
I'm
y'all
sorry.
were right here. It's moving kind of this direction.
Okay.
So it's heading more like uptown to the nicer areas.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Definitely moving away from the more dock working area.
Okay. They're slowly going up shore.
Well, it's not that slow.
And
It's faster swimming than it is walking, or whatever you call its movement on there.
I don't know if idea roll or is there any kind of number on that boat?
Ooh, it's way out there. That'd be a worse than difficult for a spot. But let me look up the
I'd take a crack at it too. I mean, my R detection's still active.
anybody
so
that
makes
that
sense.
wants to. But let me find the difficulty. All right. So at a -40, you give me a roll on your spots.
Sure.
Yeah, you that are over by the shore.
Everybody,
it.
even
Let's
the ones
go.
in.
No, only the people act the shore.
Okay.
Because I rolled a 3,
That's not a success.
and my spot is a 52.
I think Salvador and Doc are the only two that get it.
Let's see with the 16 Salvador. Yeah, everybody's looking. And the rest of you hear Leo and Salvador start rattling off the.
Yeah, I pull out basically like a doctor's notepad and start writing it down.
5, 2, A, Y, 3. Yeah, it's a 3.
No,
Me
that
actually
is a
typing
2.
this.
No, that is a 2.
To
My daughter, she go to
Y
school.
3.
All right, okay. They didn't actually have boat licenses, so he probably didn't have to have a tag number.
Might have a name on it though, if nothing else.
What you
Yeah.
see is a company name and then just a number.
Okay.
Is it
And-
52AY3?
It is now because I said it.
Let's see. When they rattle it off, Michael, you recognize the business name. It's a place that rents boats.
Okay.
It was a rental.
Vivian might recognize it too, since both of y'all, since Michael's lived here for a while, and Vivian's a native.
Tourists.
Yes, Alistair
Okay.
may very
But
well.
the fact that it's a rental place and it has a number, we could go to said rental place.
Mm-hmm.
And while y'all are looking, the detective steps back up.
He was just hiding in a trash can the entire time.
No, he had been running away once he realized both his gun wasn't effective and Teak had made off with the person that the thing was trying to kill. He was just getting some space. Did you run it off?
We're not certain.
We are. I can't believe that worked, Vivian.
I thought
Yeah,
the
they
detective's like,
said
I thought we were all
music
dead.
lessons would be useful. One thing my parents were right about, they were useful.
Mm-hmm. It was.
I'm just gonna
What?
sit down here. You guys do your thing. It just sits down on the dock.
And once it's gone, the there's a little bit of waiting, and then the workers start kind of flooding back in to see what was going on.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually tell the detective, I got a look of the boat, and I give him both the company's name and the actual number of it as well. The boat. It's a known
He's
boat
like, "Oh,
rental
excellent."
place.
It's a rental place.
We'll go find out who this guy is then.
Apparently somebody named Alistair.
Yeah. It did say it's his name.
Teek's just like, I'm gonna close my eyes. Just passes out.
It also, or she, also gave. She stated that she did not want to harm any of us.
She was being compelled.
Yes. And that she was being ordered to, in her own words, go after the merfolk.
Oh, we should probably see if she's okay. He runs to the car. Charlie, the police detective. Let's see.
Hold on, I have it
Detective
in my
Cole,
notes.
I believe.
Yes, Detective Cole.
And also, I actually asked Salvador, did you actually hit? Do you know which arm you hit him in?
I think you're muted.
You're
I think
muted,
you're
sir.
muted.
You're muted.
He grabbed this, so I'm assuming over here.
Yes, that would be correct.
Yeah, because if we see anyone who has a rifle wound in their shoulder seeking medical attention, there's a good chance that might be them.
All right. So Detective Cole runs up to the Model T. Charlie, you're sitting
Teek's
there
nose
looking
is swollen.
at the
And
all those pedals. Man, you're what? And he looks he looks across you to a Teak laid out.
Teek's
What?
nose is swollen.
What happened to him?
Hurt trying to get away. It trying to drive, and the car wouldn't turn on. But yeah,
Just sitting there idle. She's like, what?
Well, he'll be
Thanos,
fine.
But then he looks and he sees where the crank is still in the thing because
Hmm.
it's like, oh, it kicked back on him.
Yeah.
Yeah, my dad had a tractor do that to him one time, broke his arm. And then he kind of looks back at the mermaid. Ma'am, are you all right back there? She's kind of like, yeah. Is it gone? I believe so. More police show up because, of course, people running away. Some of the people running away were calling the police. So they start taking statements from people. When they start trying to take statements from you, the detective kind of goes over and shoots them off. He tells all you, we will need to get actual statements from you. But how about we run over and check out that rental place?
Works for me.
Looks over where the mermaid is. Do you want to go back and maybe warn your pod?
Well, they're not too close. It shouldn't be I mean, yes, I'll definitely need to tell them about this.
Okay.
Since I'm already in here, can I ride in the car? I've never ridden in a car before.
Let's see if T gets conscious.
He
We'll
can
say by
talk.
this point he's roused up enough. We'll give him the 1 power point so he can actually be, active.
Teek's just rubbing his nose.
I'm sorry, just the whole. I'm literally fish out of water, and I'm in a car. I want to ride in a car. I'm getting aerial vibes.
Stick her head out the window.
Teek's just driving along, and if you turn to the left, you'll see.
He'll like, because this is her first time in the car, like he'll drive at a steady pace, but enough to where she can like look around and get the lay of the land.
That said, though, before we do go, Michael will point out we did have to run off somebody trying to take photos of you, which would effectively declare you and your pod's presence in the lake to all of us. Like,
You can't
to the whole rest of the city.
You can't see her tail while she's sitting in a car.
Yeah.
You would assume that would stop some really nosy people.
From like here up, she just looks human.
Yeah. She's wearing a coat that somebody gave her.
Yeah.
There's a blanket in the trunk.
I love your commitment to the bit.
Good. If I could give you inspiration, I would.
Quasi-bard, here's some inspiration. It's like points, they don't matter.
I get that reference.
All right, but if assuming everybody wants to go with detective, y'all load up and head over to
The rental place.
yes. I don't guess the rental place really needs a name.
Thaddeus's Boat Rentals.
That's just fine.
Right, changing notes. I just put rental boat.
So y'all head over there. You're walking into the office. It's down by the water, of course. It's 3 docks. It's got a variety of boat sizes, up to what would modern day be, what you would be thinking of as a small yachts, all the way down to rowboats, and even some canoes on a rack, by the building.
Yeah.
You walk in. There's a lady behind the counter, or behind the front desk. So it's a large, very mixed group that comes walking in. And this is far enough up the coast that you're in more of the a bit more of the human-centered area of the city. So her eyes go kind of wide as this very mixed group of folks come in. Yes, can I help you?
It's the detective human.
I believe Cole was human. Yes,
He is.
Oh yeah, because we were like, he might be weirded out by the mermaid.
Well, detective, this is your investigation.
and he presents, we're looking for a man. He was in he was spotted in this boat. She starts going through the papers. Yes, we rented that boat out to him yesterday. It was a long-term rental. Well, he was renting it for a week. He was paying a week at a time. Alistair Brooks is his name. If this is the address we had for him.
Has he come back today?
Oh, no, ma'am. I've been here all morning. And, but like I said, he was renting it for a week at a time. He said he had somewhere to tie it up where he was staying. He put a deposit up.
Bart.
Auntie,
I
truly,
think
Auntie
we're right.
Jin knows. Surely, Auntie Jin knows how to do that.
Surely. Auntie
Look,
Jen
she knows the
might
room
kind of
stuff.
like her.
Yeah.
She
Learns
she
a
knows
sword
people.
of magic.
I know. I assume Teak is chilling with the mermaid in the car.
And you get a few people glancing over at you. Oh, the kobold. Oh. Pretty lady in the
Oddly.
back. Kobold in the front.
Must be her driver.
Not asking
Clearly her
questions.
driver.
Mm. Teak's actually probably just doing idle chit chat with her.
The worst mullet ever. Kobold in the front, mermaid in the back.
Let's see. What would she ask a kobold? Actually, she doesn't really ask you any kobold-related questions. It's more city questions.
That's
car
fine.
questions.
Teak will happily answer.
Does this thing work like motorized boats work? She's a little more familiar with those.
Mm.
Not the inside of them, but the underside of them. Some of them are awful fast. You have to get out of the way quick.
Mm-hmm. These can be the same way. It's idle chit chat like that the entire time.
She gets all excited when she sees a dog. She's seen them before.
Don't we
parts and
all?
stuff. That's fair. That's fair.
Who's a good boy?
She tries unsuccessfully to call it over so she can try to pet it. That's probably just as well. It looked kind of rough, so yeah. It was probably a stray. But yeah, but nothing, real bad or anything happens.
As he will be keeping an eye out and an ear out.
But so yeah, so inside the office, you got his full name, his address. I mean, you can look at his signature if you want to, where he signed the paper, but.
I don't think we'll need that much information.
I would think so. The detective thanks her for her time. He's like, unless y'all got something else you want to ask her, we can go.
I got nothing.
Yep.
Officer thanks her for her time and her cooperation. Tells her there's the possibility that somebody else may be about to ask a few more questions, but assures her she's got nothing to worry about. They're just trying to find this guy, not. They're not responsible for anything just because they rented him a boat. And manages to slip out before she can ask, what this guy did or what,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So y'all walk back out, and the mermaid is half hanging out the window, calling a dog. Tail.
He's just watching.
Tail completely not visible. She's not that far out the window.
I don't know if that one will bite or not.
It's like someday I will pet a dog. Or a cat, I'm not picky.
He has this evil vision of Mr. Barkley.
Oh, yeah. Are there any? Was it for?
Oh no.
Were there any walking around?
No, y'all are in a mostly human part of town. You have not seen any.
Oh yeah,
Barkleys.
yeah.
Yeah, no, it's just Teek's thought of like one day I will pet a dog, Mr. Barkley.
So y'all get back out to the car. Y'all drive over, and like the two of you that recognize the place, or kind of recognize the address. It's some fairly nice apartments. Not super high. Nothing that Vivian would have stayed at prior to getting married.
Hmm.
But solidly, upper middle class.
Mhm.
Well, detective. You're the technically the law here, so
Yep.
Everybody behind me. He goes in. As he's walking up, the door almost hits him as somebody else comes out. And oh, I beg your pardon. The guy's wearing a top, dressed up in a business suit, wearing a top hat. Not a big exaggerated one, but flat top.
Doug Dimmadome.
But he's
Question,
oh,
how
excuse
much-
me, sir.
How much time has passed since the docks with our traveling around?
30, 45 minutes.
Cool. Thank you.
So
Good luck
that
salvaging
guy
that
winds
for
up holding the door as y'all all stream through. As Charlie and Vivian pass, he ma'am.
Okay.
The detective
Back
gets
to
the
failing.
super, asks where Mr. Alistair Brooks is. Oh, he's up on the 3rd floor.
Alistair Brooks.
Double
And
check to see
outside
if
the
they think
apartment
we can do it
building,
again.
back behind it, you have a slope down, and then they have some docks of their own.
Is there a boat there?
Oh, there's several boats tied up there.
Does it look
So
like the
one
one
with
that
a
we
lot of
saw?
blood.
Give me
Is
spot
there one
checks.
I will.
Is there one with a bullet hole and
It's slowly sinking.
sorry, for a second there it looked like you froze
Fail.
on me, Jason.
Sometimes I
that
just
might-
get very
Fail.
still.
So was this far from where the boat rental place was?
It was up the coast a little bit, not freakishly far.
This
Like I said,
is-
getting here, doing the
Ah,
getting to the
Yikes.
rental place and getting here, y'all spent like 45 minutes.
Okay.
night of close calls. I have a 52 in spot and rolled a 53.
Oh, a rolling spot. Give me a second.
So yeah, you glance out and okay, there's a bunch of boats.
Peak would be worried about taking the
Alright. I succeeded.
the guest there.
Well, you can just take it down to the dock, toss her in the water. It'll be fine.
Tika staying in the
Yeah.
vehicular.
Well,
Well,
honestly,
Teak-
it would
Uh,
probably be best if we dropped her off like back to the lake before we go there.
yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
Teak,
Okay.
Teak
before we get
will.
anywhere near it.
He won't drop her off where they met her. He'll drive a little bit like away from where everything is, and then
You
help
just
her
you
into
just
the
find
water.
some random spot that y'all can get down, that y'all can safely get
Mhm.
down to the shore, and y'all let her out.
Michael will get his coat back.
Oh yeah, she gives it back. She thinks it was quite neat. It's a little wet now, but
Smells like
she doesn't
fish.
recognize that as a problem.
He'll just put it in the floor of his car.
So she splashes
camera
off,
later.
and y'all had already set up how to potentially contact each other.
Mhm.
Mhm.
She's like, okay, guess I'll head back to the pod and tell them what's going on.
Teak tips his hat and says, "Be careful, ma'am."
If
Or,
any of them
"Be
want
careful, ma'am."
if any of them want to talk with us, we can arrange to meet up tomorrow if you want.
Yeah, if you want to meet tomorrow, we can do that. I'll see what they say.
Either way, I'll try and show up here about the same time we met today.
At the
Here or at the place we arranged at the
At
park,
the
at the little
sorry,
park.
at the park.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. All right. So she takes off. Now who all succeeded? That'll be before y'all get to this place. So who all succeeded on the spots?
I think just
Looks like Vivian and
Vivian.
Charlie
Charlie.
and Vivian. I think are the only ones.
Okay. So yeah, so y'all walk out there, or look out there. Yeah, lots of boats. There's people working on, working around the dock. You see a guy with a mop bucket out there. Vivian and Charlie, you notice the guy's mopping up blood. He's about done. It's pretty diluted. It's why the others don't notice it. And as you look further out, you notice one of the boats is sitting at an odd angle.
Kind
Like
of
it's tied to the
elbows-
dock, so that's going to stop it from completely sinking, probably.
elbows
end
and
of the
cut
night,
sides
good.
over there.
Oh, yeah, I didn't roll for that. Okay, the detective also spots the blood.
Yeah.
He takes a quick step out
Yeah.
and asks the guy mopping about it. He's like, yeah, He points out to the somewhat sinking boat. It's not so much completely sinking as it's taking on some water, but
Yeah.
the hole
Well, I
is
wanted
further
to
up
do-
towards the nose, so the nose is dipped down a little bit, but where it's tied up, it's stopping it from sinking completely.
That's all I wanted it to do.
And yeah, he mentioned there was a trail of blood leading up to the back door.
Hmm.
One of the he said it was one of the residents. He said he didn't really say what had happened, just that it wasn't as bad as it looked. I don't know. It looked pretty bad.
Look, your bloody arm's gone.
Yep.
Well, it's not so
No,
much.
it isn't.
It wasn't literally blown off. It's just completely useless and not going to recover.
It's disabled.
Yeah.
There are healing spells though, so
Yes, there are.
So without further ado, he's up the stairs, to the
Mhm.
third floor where the super city was.
yeah.
I will also get a duffel bag out from the car as well. At least my truck.
I got you. Yeah. Detective has no problem with y'all being armed.
Good.
And just to be on the safe side, I'm going to... wrong one. Okay, that's based on my POW now. Gotta remember that. Powering up Iron Hands.
Ready? Oh, normal weapons won't hurt you, huh? There's nothing normal about these mitts.
It's just
18
the scene where he's
success.
like
And
cocks his
power
cocks
points
his
spent.
fists. He grows a pocket.
So the detective comes up the door. Pow, 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 pow. Mr. Brooks? Pow, 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 pow. Mr. Brooks? It's the
Yes,
APD.
yeah.
We need to speak with you. He knocks
Yeah,
the
you
third
want to take me
time.
alive, Kappa?
I'd like to do a listen check to see
Alright,
if I hear
anybody wants to do
anything.
listens can do so.
Absolutely.
Success.
Failure.
Is that a 10? Oh, that's
Fail.
A 10.
Damn.
So...
Big Salvador's slowly pulling out his rifle after the third knock and didn't hear anything. Like, oh, shame.
Yes, I got
Success
a
for me.
16
Okay.
out of 55. I think that's a special.
At
I
55, I
don't
think it
think
takes a 12 or something. No, it takes an 11 for a special at
Ah,
55.
dang.
Close, though.
But it's still a success.
So the failures, you don't hear anything on the other side.
Hmm.
The successes, it sounds like the radio is on real low.
Mm-hmm.
After the third knock, Detective Cole looks over at the super. Open it. Yes, sir. He doesn't actually open the door. He just reaches over and unlocks it, and then he steps back because he don't know what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
He goes, okay, there's a detective here who, showed his credentials. He's got his pistol out. This odd
Salvador's
bunch of
pulling his
folks is
rifle
packing
out.
like rifles and stuff. It's like,
Yeah.
Okay.
Salvador's actively pulling his rifle out after the third knock.
So he's just backing up. It was like World War II is about to kick off here.
There's a kobold with
No,
a
no, we got a
broken
couple
nose.
years.
Come on out. You're
Oh.
coming out. You're rotten
So-
egg.
Detective swings the door open. All of you can hear the radio now.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Apparently, Mr. Brooks is in here listening to the jazz. Again, the detective's like, Mr. Brooks. So yeah, he motions for any of you that are holding guns to come in behind him.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay. Salvador's right behind him.
Vivian is bringing very much up the rear, but she's looking around for anything that might be out of the norm, like blood.
Yeah.
There was a few dark stains on the carpet leading up to the door. There's definitely some inside. As you step through the little foyer area and kind of turn and look into the living room, you see a man sitting in a chair. His right arm is kind of half bandaged up. Like he's definitely made an attempt at bandaging it up.
Yeah.
On the table in front of him is a bottle of scotch and 2 glasses.
Where's the other person?
Probably not here anymore, considering the one guy you can see is laying back with his eyes open and a lot of bruising around his neck.
Ooh.
Oh.
That's unfortunate.
It appears we are too late.
Would my 2 medics like to make any rolls to check out the body?
Yeah.
Sure. What do I roll?
This would be...
This. I think medicine in this
Medicine?
instance.
Yeah, I think medicine, because you're going for cause of death,
Well-
which is kind of obvious, but
Or
I'm
do I
gonna-
do biology since I have that?
no, it'd be medical.
Medicine is higher. Okay.
Peek's gonna look around the room.
Ah, a special.
Oh,
As
nice.
they're looking, I would like to look for any other exits besides this door. So like windows and stuff like that.
Okay, there are plenty of windows. Oh,
Yeah,
plenty
I'm
of
just
windows. The guy has windows.
Yeah, I'm gonna look for
And
one.
I
like,
got
see
a
if there's an
30,
exit.
so that is a success. I don't think that's a... Because I got a 73 as well, so...
We're on the 3rd floor, correct?
Correct.
Yes.
So it could only have been Spider-Man.
However, is there a bathroom? Some places had ones you had to walk down to. Is there one in this room?
This one is just fancy enough that it has its own.
Yep, that's like
There's
Because-
lots of blood in the sink. There's bandage, first aid equipment laid
Mhm.
out.
mhm.
Let's see. Charlie got a special her medicine. What'd you get on your medicine?
I got
Leo?
a 30, so...
Okay.
So flat success.
So a success. So yeah, you can both spot that his bandaging job wasn't great. It was more or less stopping the blood, but probably it was him struggling to do it one-handed. Clearly he died from strangulation.
And it looks just like how the other man had been killed.
This one looks more like it was something thin. Somebody looks like somebody you would guess somebody strangled him with something. And the way
Okay, so
and
this-
Rappy Charlie with the special, the way the body's kind of pulled back in the chair, you kind of suspect somebody was behind him doing it. And very recently. He hasn't noticeably cooled yet.
I even point this out to the detective. He's still warm. This happened.
Seconds ago.
Yeah.
the rest of you stay here. And where Salvador stepped off to the bathroom, he steps out and gets Salvador, and y'all check. Do a quick sweep of the well, there's only one bedroom. The bedroom and the little kitchenette area.
Salvador's clearing, like saying clear as he like sees different, rooms. Or no
So
one's there.
a quick check shows for sure there's nobody else in the room
In the
right
apartment. Yeah.
Are there any windows that have been opened?
now. Yes, the window in the bedroom is open.
Mhm.
And one of the ones in the living room is open.
You said that there was blood trailing on the carpet. Is there footprints? Or someone may have stepped in said blood and gone away from the body.
That is a good question.
Hi, Teek's a mobster. He's known to clean up a mess.
This ain't his first rodeo. No, it's not the first time I've seen a strangled guy. Shoot, I've seen a guy being strangled.
I find it absolutely the most cartoonish character of our batch is probably the most deadly.
No, there's no probably to that. You and I are ex-military, and he's still the most deadly person on the team.
The more hilarious thing is, like, he's only been deadly once. Every like this entire other time, he's like, "I'm saving a mermaid. Let's go."
You're just entering your John Wick era. It's fine.
Someone
so no,
steals
you do
the
not.
model.
Teek, you do not see any actual visible footprints.
Someone steals the Model T, gets a sledgehammer. Oh, sorry.
Can I look out these windows to see if someone is like, if this is happening, like if this has happened very recently, I would like to look out those windows and see if anyone's like walking weirdly or something like that out from whatever
Fire
I can see out of the
escapes.
windows.
All right.
Fire escape, that sort of thing.
So his windows face the back of the building, so you're looking out at the water.
Uh-huh.
So you see the guy that was mopping, finishing up, rolling his mop away. A couple other people have come up in their boats, and they're standing there talking while they're looking at the kind of sunk one. You get the impression they're kind of laughing and pointing.
It's like,
that guy can't tie his ship. What an asshole!
and I could just imagine one of them is like, "Well, he's not getting his deposit back."
Oh, I know Thaddeus. Thaddeus is not going to be happy with that.
So both windows lead like both.
Yeah, they're both on the kind of the back wall of the of the overall building.
And 3 stories up.
Yeah.
Did the elemental do this?
No,
Well, the carpets
'cause
aren't saturated.
That's why I wanted to check the bathroom, but he died of just normal strangulation.
Didn't the other one that died the body that we found have like really bad like strangles? Is it the same style?
No.
That other person was all over.
Yeah. This just looks like
Another one
somebody
was also-
looped a rope or a cord or something around his neck.
Just like garroted.
Yeah.
Well, not even a rope. It was
Sorry.
thinner than that. So yeah, some kind
Gotta keep with the bit until his nose heals.
Come here. We're just gonna crack it back into place.
Oh,
the entire
God.
snout. Yeah.
It's like, be careful.
Wait, no, it's off center now. It's off center.
It's like you it was like pointed to the right, now it's pointed to the left. It's like too far.
Since there isn't really an investigation roll, can I do research, see if I can find any leads in the room?
I think that would more be spot in
Yeah,
this
that would definitely be
instance.
spot.
Spot?
Yeah.
Okay.
Research is more what would be library use than
Apparently not.
fumble.
While fiddling through a drawer, you accidentally find a camera and it flashes you.
No, he would. Fumble would be more like he accidentally destroys the evidence he was looking for. So with the fumble, you're looking around. You pick up one of the glasses of whiskey.
Mhm.
you set it down. The detective's like, oh, try not to get your fingerprints on too many things. You do notice the one that was be sitting more in front of the victim is about half full. Where the one you picked up had pretty much been drained. It was just a little bit.
Okay. He'll just leave it alone.
The detective asks y'all, stay and keep an eye on the room, make sure nobody else from the building comes in. He steps outside where the super is still.
We may want
standing
to
there.
ask around to see if anyone else saw anyone else leave.
Jason froze for me.
Yeah,
Y'all
you-
all froze
yeah,
just a
you-
second with me.
Yeah, you froze for us.
Discord.
so.
Oh, never mind. We're good.
But
Are we?
I'm no idea.
he gets the super and first goes down to where there's a phone. Basically, he calls in more officers. So you have, just a little while, you have police crawling over this place, talking to all the residents.
Mhm.
They're quite shocked that there was a murder. Generally speaking, nobody knew this guy. Other people on the floor, I've seen him come and go, and but he'd only recently moved in, and he was polite, but not particularly talkative.
Burner apartment.
Yeah, probably.
Burner person.
The detective does show you his driver's license. Not the victim's driver's license, I should say. And it is an out-of-state license.
For
Okay.
where?
That is a good question. Detroit.
Chicago.
No, I can't throw
Guys,
everything. Not everything can be.
Chicago.
Not everything can be from Chicago. No, this guy's from Detroit. And the detective tells you you're free to ask around if there's anything you can think of to ask the residents. Y'all been pretty useful so far, so.
Michael's gonna go over to the window that overlooks the back, like where the people, like the groundsfolk are.
Mhm. And there's police out there talking to anybody that's outside now too.
He's just gonna be, I guess, just kind of general, kind of like incite the folks that have been here. Kind of see if there's any that are acting like too calm.
Okay, give me a roll. Okay.
Specifically, the guy mopping.
But he's done mopping now. So yeah, as you walk by, as the police are interviewing people and you're listening to them, nothing strikes you as too out of the ordinary. Some of them are like just horrified that there was a murder in their building.
Yeah.
Yeah, one older guy that doesn't seem as phased, but he's just kind of sitting there. What is this city coming to? I mean, you expect this further down south, where all the and then he notices like Salvador, somebody else, like, yeah, you expect this further down south in the city, maybe, but not. Look, give Salvador's big long rifle a hard look.
He's got it strapped around
mind
him
it.
while he's looking,
Yeah.
but yeah.
But it's still obvious,
Over here,
though.
cleaning my rifle.
Yeah. Okay.
Reporters show up.
Yes, of course they do.
Oh,
Should go.
They're being kept out of the
Yeah.
third floor, at least initially.
Yeah.
well, I will say also as a point of reference, whatever officer is in charge of like collecting pieces of
Mhm.
evidence. Michael will tell him that he did end up picking up that glass after we had arrived, like the one he had picked up,
Yeah,
just to have that on record of
Okay, yeah, the guy makes notes of it. The guy
when
makes
they
notes.
find his print on it, he just like picked it up and then set it back down.
Well, you were traveling with Detective Cole, so you'd have an alibi anyway. But this stops there from
Yeah.
being any confusion.
Mhm.
So yeah, the guy,
And
the forensics guy, takes a note of that.
And if they find any other fingerprints on there that aren't his,
The forensics guy looks at you. Yes, we know how fingerprinting works. All right, how much forensics did they even have in the 20s? All right.
If anything, this is giving us, history
We're gonna learn a lot about the
lessons.
1920s, guys.
Yep. All right, so fingerprinting, I knew they already
Useless,
had.
but yes.
Fingerprinting, ballistic analysis, and the use of scientific tools.
It is utterly depressing how much of this stuff we are still using today, several decades later.
And I looked up like the fighting styles that were taught in the 1920s, and amateur boxing just became a thing in 1920.
Yeah.
yeah.
Well,
Yeah, I suppose
boxing
Well,
would have
I guess
still
what
been
I know
around,
Teak's picking up.
but probably more organized in the U.S. and
Yeah,
stuff.
I specifically had to look up like any kind of martial arts fighting styles, and all the ones I knew didn't migrate over to the U.S. until much later.
Yeah.
You
If
can
y'all,
ask
if y'all were
Teak
more
about-
out west, you might be able to find people just because you had such a large number of like Chinese immigrants. So somebody
Yeah.
probably knew something, but
Mhm.
just based on volume of
As-
people. But good luck finding that one or two guys.
asked Teak what he was doing for a week. Oh, I was training boxing. Oh, did you find anyone? We don't talk about Fight Club.
But you just did.
Talk about what?
So, is there anything you want to ask any of the residents?
I think the big one was do they know any? Did they know this man? Which they have we have gotten the sense that they don't.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's
one
kind of it for
lady
me.
knew
I-
his last name at least. Oh yeah, Mr. Brooks. Oh, it's a shame. He seemed like a nice, nice fellow.
Did Mr.
Did
Brooks
any-
have anyone that was seen with him frequently?
Most of them say no. The lady that her apartment was across the hallway from him. She said he did. I did see once or twice a. I mean, I assumed it was a lawyer just from the way he was dressed, but I don't actually know. But there were a very nicely dressed gentlemen that showed up at least a couple of times.
Do you happen to catch his name or anything like that?
No, I just saw them, speaking in the hallway as they were walking to his room one time, and
Why can't you be nosy, lady?
and one other time, he was. She pauses. He was leaving as I was getting home.
Would you give a description of?
Hey, she starts rattling off,
Did he have a beard? Was he tall?
She gives you, roughly his height, and what his beard looked like, and he both times she can remember seeing him, he was in the same same suit and hat. So,
Quick glance, Alistair, is he, he has a beard as well?
No, Alistair was clean shaven. Oh no. I think last time I described him as having a beard, but not like a full wizard beard, even though he's a.
Well, that's the thing is, we don't know. We know the person that we saw with the elemental did. So that's what I'm asking is Alistair have that beard?
Yes. And he's got the
Yeah,
big
okay.
bullet. He's got the big bullet wound that you
Yeah,
talked about.
Alistair's the guy that's
Uh,
dead.
So, Vivian, you realize pretty quickly the woman is describing somebody that you saw very recently.
Why's it gotta be your boss?
In fact, if you spread the description around, everybody's kind of like, that sounds awfully familiar.
Is it Vasley?
No. It's the guy that almost opened the door into the detective as y'all were coming up that then held the door for you all.
Oh
Ah,
shit!
You know, he even tipped his hat to the ladies. Very polite fellow.
Oh, he's got to die.
And the detective's like, son of a... Oh, pardon my French, ladies.
She'll say it in Elvish.
He
It sounds
looks over
pretty
to
say it in
I want you to borrow your
Kobold.
phone again. See if we can get an APB out on this guy.
Hold on.
Are you rolling eidetic memory?
Yes. Considering I've seen him, I can now with perfect clarity remember absolutely everything about him that I saw.
Get me the sketch artist.
Yep.
All right.
Is
There's
there
a
an
little
art
plural of
skill? Is
excitement
that some...
there.
Actually, there is, yes.
Oh, there is.
Do any of you have the art skill?
Absolutely.
Everybody
not.
does.
We have it, but no
well,
one's
I mean,
trained in it, I
has
believe.
anybody gotten it to a significant level? Sorry. Should have been
No.
I
proud.
don't believe so. No.
Everyone has a base of 5, so...
And I
I
can't
can
even
draw
roll
Very
anything.
accurate stick figures.
I'm gonna roll it just
Yeah.
because hilarity. No, ha!
How
Like
do
that
you
drawing
roll
Sokka does
art,
at the end
though?
of...
you have
I-
to have to add the skill art because it says you have an
Yeah.
art of 5, so you have to add
Yeah.
the skill art and then
Well, the idea would
You
be you
can-
would add painting, or you would
A type of-
add
a type of
drawing,
art.
or
Yeah.
sketching.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Pottery.
Yeah, no. Yeah,
Let's
Michael, he's
try.
not gonna
Why not?
try.
I'm typing in
Fair.
doodling because that's what he would do.
Mm-mm-mm.
all right.
Like Sokka at the end of the last episode of Avatar.
So a couple of y'all are. Top thought it looked fine, but
It did.
So yeah, y'all are trying to doodle this guy out while the detective's on the phone, you know, trying to get an APB out. When he hangs up, he looks over at y'all. Like, we have a sketch artist at the station. Let's at the precinct. Let's
Not the
That's
professional side.
probably
of
for
this.
the best.
let's head back there. We'll get your reports while we're there, and you know the forensics
Mhm.
people are.
I made a cherry
doing
blossom.
everything.
Just a circle.
I think you might still have a concussion.
Yeah.
Mm-mm-mm.
Did any of y'all's docs ever check him out?
I don't
No.
believe so, no.
We just woke
Just
up
shove
the
Check out
kobold
who?
and put
Just
him in
shove
the
smelling salts
driver's
under him.
seat. We just
fine to
woke
drive,
up the
it's fine.
kobold and put him in
Right.
the driver's seat.
Giant monster. Doesn't matter, you know. Doesn't matter if you're good. You just have to be up. Let's go. All right, so y'all head back to the precinct. You take your reports. You all, you're all standing around the sketch artist. Michael is throwing off the most details, but everybody's chipping in. Everybody's going, oh yeah, it's. By the end of it, you've got a very good picture of the guy.
Yeah, I would say because he can literally rewind back to that exact moment where he looked the dude in the face. He will be pointing out if there's any flaws that he notices. No, it's
Got a
He's
scar
making
on
sure
his
this
eyebrow.
this will get as detailed as possible.
He has a dimple under his right eye and a scar on his left
Describe
eyebrow.
the exact cut of the suit and exactly, the type.
He was
the
missing
type of-
6 hairs in his eyebrow.
He was wearing a kerchief.
He had only one testicle. How did you know that, sir?
He walked with a slight lean to one side.
Uh,
Oh no.
So that APB goes out on that guy. They're sending out copies of this paper. Let's see, there's no television, so they can't advertise it that way.
Yeah.
Sketches don't help you on the radio. Have
Get
you
in
seen
the
this man?
evening paper.
Actually, yeah, that's a good idea. They would do run that by the paper.
Yep.
Making sure to
TV.
just to clarify, this person is dangerous, so please do not approach them. Contact your officers who will,
Yeah.
or the Bayorn.
This is 1925, right?
Correct.
TV has been invented for a year.
Ha!
Has it?
Mm-hmm.
In 1924, Scottish inventor John Baird invented the first TV made of things he found, such as cardboard and a bicycle lamp.
That's impressive, actually.
When are
So
they
5
coming
years
these
later,
homes up?
the Baird televisor was sold commercially. So he invented it in 1924, but it wasn't commercially available until
Later.
5 years later.
Yeah.
Later.
Okay.
I have a
So
I have
none
a
of you have
similar
heard of it.
story.
In all likelihood.
I have a similar story in my
1950s.
own personal lore.
Oh
of
boy.
My grandfather invented color photography.
My dad, I'd have to ask him again. He actually owns the patent for it, but there's it's a part that is in modern computers now that allows it to actually run the way they do.
The problem
It-
is my grandfather was a hermit, so Kodak came up, or Canon, or whoever came up with it, years later, and they're
Yeah.
like, "This is
Yeah.
our thing that we did."
Well, yeah. Whoever registers
Document
the
everything.
patent first, yeah.
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 History is written by the victors. Yeah.
Yep.
So anyway, the day winds down. The late edition papers come out.
Mhm.
It was too late to get the. So in the late paper, pictures of you guys all over the place.
Mhm.
That's fine.
The biggest, the big front page picture is it's not taken from the best angle exactly. But you clearly see Salvador's back as he's loading the rifle. You see the monster.
Yeah.
And you can clearly make out Vivian violin in hand.
It's like, are they
Playing a
seducing it? Are they killing it? What?
Both.
Please, God, tell me there's a picture of Teak doing this.
No,
No, you said there was no mermaid.
Yeah.
You said there was no
Yeah.
mermaid. Okay.
Whatever photographer was taking this, maybe that guy Salvador ran off, came back after the commotion started. Who knows?
Yeah.
Oh, a picture of
text.
Teague gets him holding his nose.
But yeah, the article is basically singing your praises. All the witnesses at the dock were like, giant monster showed up. They ran giant monster off. Nobody got hurt. They were unaware of Teek's nose.
Sorry, Teague.
That's fine.
So y'all are even more famous in town now.
For better or for worse.
Mm-hmm.
The more hilarious thing would be like it's a wide picture and it was Teak getting hit just at the time.
Teak mid-flight.
So all you see is like a body with like a metal bar like hitting his nose.
Teague just ragdolling.
Yeah. Basically, from where the picture was taken, there would have been a building between you and where the vehicles were parked. So yes, so then the paper talks about the fact that they have not been able to.
So tread with
Bye-bye.
care
Good night.
and heed the sign. Abomination, Ali's line. For in the night the shadows grow and take with them your trouble.